I read 54 books so far this year, and I gave 11 5-star reads. And you might think that that's pretty high. This is what my reading looks like. You can see that I tend to rate pretty high. And there are two really good reasons for this. One is I like to like things, right? It makes me happy that I like things, and I don't want to dislike things. So I'm going to lean toward this is the best book I've ever read, and away from this is drivel, I want to stop reading it now. Even, maybe I don't know, I might lie to myself a little. That's one reason. But the second reason is I'm an excellent chooser. I am very good at deciding which books to read. So even though I've read, quite a few books, I still am choosing really good ones. So I just want to go through quick the 11 that I thought were 5-star that I read so far this year. The first one is All the Feels. It's the second sequel to Spoiler Alert. It was adorable. It was fantastic. It was cute. It gave me squeeze. It was even better than Spoiler Alert, in my opinion. All the feels, definitely. Second book is The Only Good Indians. This is one of the few horror books, in fact, the only horror book that's ever made me cry in that cathartic, emotional, good way that you cry when you're reading a book. And you're like, and then you feel it and you love it and you love being in pain, like that kind of crying. This is the only book that's ever made me feel that way. That was a horror book. The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. If you have not read it and you like horror, you should stop what you're doing right now. Whatever it is, let's pause this video, whatever, and go and read it. Tomorrow. I know that there's a lot of criticism about this, and most of it I kind of agree with, but here's the thing. This is another one of those books where in the middle of it, there was this moment where it just got me, and I couldn't talk about the book for a couple of days after I finished it because it had such an emotional impact and response to me. I was kind of gutted by it. So definitely for me a 5-star read. Daisy Jones and the Six. Now I watched the Netflix series before, the Prime series before I even read this book, and I still couldn't put it down. I still read it in one setting. So sitting. How do you say that? Do you say setting or do you say sitting? It doesn't matter. I read it all the way through because I needed to know more information about it. And the audiobook, which is how I listen to everything. Let's be fair. All of these things I'm saying I've read them with my ears. I've listened to them because that's how I roll. It was different enough that it made the characters tweaked a little, so I kind of needed to see it, and I couldn't put it down. Definitely. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is by far the #1 book that I'm going to recommend so far this year because it is all of the things. Found family, joy, heart, beautiful characters. It's all of the things. All of the things, witches, magic, learning about togetherness. It's all of the things. This is the book that I would recommend. All the books I've read so far. That's the one. No Home for Killers by E.A. Amar. I love E.A. Amar. Yeah, I love all of his books. And this one was great. What's really great about this one is it's a thriller. It's got multiple POVs. You got all the different sisters. And it's unpredictable. You don't know what the characters are going to do. And, thrillers. I love it. The Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama. I mean, it's Obama and Hope. It just hit me right in the nostalgic place that I needed to be hit. I've been so bogged down by politics. It was nice to read, to feel that joy again. And plus, I love Obama. Hellbent was the most anticipated book for me this year because I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for it. So I had a lot of expectations and they were all met. So, that says something. If you like Dark Academia and you haven't read Leigh Bardugo's Alex Stern series, I would recommend that you do that ASAP. Lessons in Chemistry. This is a book that I did not think that I was going to like because I don't generally read literary fiction. Not because, I don't know why that is, but I just don't generally like literary fiction. I like speculative fiction. I like that little extra something. So I was really surprised when I could not put this one down and read it straight through. I listened to it like like 2 in the morning. I was like, I need to know what happens. How does she get on the cooking show? What happens with the dog? Like the whole thing. They just kept me engrossed. The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. This is a book, I don't know why no one talks about it. Like, I've never heard anyone else talk about this besides me, but this is 100% a chilling thriller about like a virus that sweeps through the world, where when you get it, you sort of just go like lose your shit and kill people, and like not like plot kill people, but like just beat them to death. And then like 10 seconds later, you're fine again, and you never know when that's going to happen. And it's just intense and real, and there's like this cool like wrestling bit thing that happens at the end. I mean, why isn't anyone reading The Violence? Why aren't you reading that? Come on now. It was great. It's the best. Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. I love Shondaland. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. I love it so much. I am a huge fan of How to Get Away with Murder, Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, all the things. Bridgerton, I'm in. So I don't know why it took me so long to get to this one, but it was great. And there's this moment in the story when Shonda Rhimes is talking about how she gets, like, when she's writing something, she gets like drawn into it, and then someone will pull her out, and like how long it takes to get back into that creative process. And I have never been like, yes, exactly that. Like, that's it. That's what happens. Because like you're in a creative moment, and then someone comes along and pulls you out of it, and you're like, wait, and like reaching for the door. Like she talks about this in this book, and I really felt like, oh God, yeah, so many moments like that. It's a great audiobook. All right.